Oh, I missed the bowl completely, y'all. I still need more bowls. Let's see. We have Kazera and Lockett, Sinfandel, Mahama, Double the Nawaz, Ado. That's Ethereal and Prince. So here was a. Here, y'all got plenty of bowls to spread it out. Y'all can spread it out. Here, there you go. Oh no, I didn't want that on my clothes. Amazon. We just started getting the Amazon people. Oh my God, I was looking at something else and I didn't see that people were here. Hello, Randy. Thank you for being here. Hello, Connie. Thank you for being here. Hello, Rosemary. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. And Catitude. Hello, Catitude. I know it's late. I literally just got home. I'm still wearing dress pants, y'all. Instead of my pajama bottoms, I'm wearing dress pants. So I literally just got home from shopping. Ran to pick up some stuff for the cats and some small drinks to drink at work. Everything there that they have is that you just buy out of the end cap, you know, near the register or out of the machine. You could buy a whole case with that one small can Coke. It's like $1 there. I'm like, seriously. Seriously. So anyway, I got some little drinks to take to work, like little mini Cokes, and a case of cat food, and I put some gas in the car. Hello, Maya. Hi, Maya. Thank you for being here. So, you know, I haven't even got undressed yet. I'm still wearing my go-to-town pants. And that neighbor's dog from over there has been bothering us today. And I was just talking to my other neighbor who lives over there, bothering them too and stealing things, right? Just grabbing things and running off. So the dog is becoming a problem. So I hope we don't have to go. I guess I'm gonna have to go have a little talk with them and show them my video of what. I have a video on my phone when I got back from the vet with Moo and what Moo looked like. A close-up of what happened to Moo. Well, hello, your local Martian. Thank you for being here. So nice to see you. And how upset I was. And there's Miss Poofy Tail. And that, you know, what Moo looked like, how upset I was. Now, right now, this dog seems like it's young, but it's pestering me. It's pestering the neighbors. And I'm going to say, you know what? If it does something to my cats, I will seek legal avenues. And hi, Icon. Hi, Icon. So I don't want to be that person, the Karen, so to speak. You know what I mean? But I don't want another repeat of what happened with Moo. I'm sorry. I just don't. Especially since I will be gone so much now. But that's okay. Thank you all for being here this evening. It's so nice to see you. We got Double Nawaz, Little Miss Poofy Tail, Kaizera. Yeah, I mean, they're talking about. I was just talking to my neighbor across the road, and they said the dog it's a cute younger looking dog, but it's aggravating them. It's stealing stuff and running off with it. And it was just followed me up into the driveway, barking at me. Came to about halfway up the driveway. Oh, Connie, it was fine. I finally found out about the remodeling part I'm going to be doing, and we're going to have to move all the shelves. We're going to take something and put under the shelves like a giant forklift and lift them up and then some people are going to be on the end and push, and the whole thing's going to have to be, everything in the store has got to be moved. So right now I'm just doing sort of normal worker stuff, not the remodel stuff, but they're not quite ready for the remodeling, but yeah, it's going to be fun. So to speak. That's okay. Yeah, the everything, and they say they're going to move the shelves with the products on them. You have to put something under them and jack them up. Well, it is the law. It is the law, Rosemary. That's the law. They just don't enforce the law, Rosemary. The law is that dog that she did contain it killed a cat, should have been deemed a dangerous dog, and it should have been some sort of fine. They did nothing. Probably, they did nothing. Did I say hello, Joseph? If I didn't, hello, Joseph. Thank you for being here. No, I literally just drove up from Walmart and been dealing with that dog. I haven't even had a chance to get undressed. I was wearing my slippers. I always take my shoes off immediately. But, well, hello, Cars 63V. Well, thank you for saying Jesus loves me. Yeah, Rosemary, they don't enforce it. Hey, it's Daisy May. Hey, Daisy May. Thank you for being here today. Thank you all for being here. So nice to see everyone. And the fog was so bad last night when I was going to work. It was so bad, and I've been going up and down this road my entire life. The only thing that's been a constant in my entire life has been this place. Because, like I said, my grandparents moved here in 1953. I couldn't see the road. I almost ended up in the ditch. Literally. Thank you for asking. Or Kelly. Thank you for asking. And Miracle was upset with me again last night. He's not liking it when I leave and come back. He is not happy. But he gets over by the next day he's back sleeping on my chest, right up under my chin, He's got to pout a little bit, and but no, the fog was so thick, and on this road, there's no white lines. I was fine once I got onto the highway where you could see the white lines and the yellow lines. But out here, it's just blacktop. I had no idea where I was going. I'm like, I had to stop. I thought, I see grass. I think I see grass too close to the car, and I had to literally pull over, get out with my flashlight and say, am I in the ditch? I literally had to make sure I wasn't. I thought I'd already went and drove into the ditch, literally. And I'm like, if it's foggy like this again, I'll go another direction. And it was like we were under a dense fog advisory all night. Now, coming home, it's daylight when I get off work. Okay, I'm getting off work at 7, so the sun's already coming up, so that's fine. Plus, I only have one headlight, and I don't have the money to get it fixed right now. So, but no, Miracle was on top of the refrigerator, just looking at me like, I don't know what you're doing, woman, being gone all night, but I'm gonna give him some treats. No, I can't get used to it, Joseph. It's gonna take me a while to adjust my schedule. But I was so ready for sleep by the time I got home because normally I got up between 6 and 6:30. My normal time to get up was between 6 and 6:30 in the morning. Well, now I'm there putting stuff on shelves or something like that. And I almost like I'm seeing spots. I get bleary-eyed. I mean, my body is screaming, sleep, woman. sleep, sleep. And I'm like, no, no. So when I get home, and I see all the kitties and make sure they still have plenty of food. And I put out so much food that they could live for a few days. Just and but a couple of them wanted to come over and snuggle, like my little wobbly kitten that's severely handicapped, really needed a snuggle, and a Beakwa, my donated cat that came from some unknown place, and needed a snuggle. And Bijoko come over to say hello, but the rest of them were like, "Yeah, we got nothing for you, woman. No, we got no, we got nothing for you." Oh yeah, I know that catitude. I'll just say I don't know. I had that happen one time. They pulled me over, and I said, "Oh really? I had no idea." But most of the time, I'm on the back roads. I'm literally weaving my way through the woods. I would love a cookie, Rosemary. A cookie would be great. Kai is hydrating. But it was like I wanted the big greeting when I got home, y'all. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted. Like, meow, she's home. Where have you been? That's what I was hoping. And a couple of them did it, but like, and Serena came over for a snuggie. But Miracle's just looking at me like, no, this is unacceptable behavior, woman. Unacceptable behavior. But since I'm off today, so I'm not working tonight or morning. It's actually almost. So but I'll go back tomorrow, and I'm off Friday and Saturday. And oh yeah, Connie, he is upset. Oh, he's looking at me like meow. Now some of them are like, "Hey, here she is," but the others are like, "I don't understand." And yeah, well, there's Joseph. There's different rules for different people. It depends on who you are. Yeah, it really does depend on who you are. Different rules apply to different people. Like I said, I actually know someone who was a runner, and they were running. They like to jog, or practically running, and they were running down the highway, or not the highway. This is the little back roads. And he was attacked by a pit bull and bit many times. They're all running. They hear the dog. Look, they're running. They're running. And he retaliated, and I think I don't even know the whole story. I've heard it told a few different ways. He was the one who was arrested. He was the one the law enforcement arrested, even though he was bit by the dog. They did nothing to the owner, nothing to the dog, and he was bit several times. And look, there's that dog. There it is. Look, that's why they're running. See it in the center of the screen? Yep. Gonna have to have a little chat, it looks like. Look, there it is. Yep. Here it comes. Look at there. Now, all the cats are going to disperse which is good. I want them to be afraid of dogs. I have been yelling. I've been yelling. I was yelling at it for 5 minutes before I did my live stream, Maya. It just barked at me. Hey, Spine Sith, Steve. I can barely talk. I'm a zombie. I'm a zombie. Let me do something. It smells the cat food, probably. Okay. Hey, Spine Chicks, what does your wife call you? Does she call you Steve? What does your family call you? I guess they call you Steve. I'm going to get the dog. And I see when I go towards it like that, though, it runs. Yeah, it's not just me it's aggravating. It's other people it's aggravating. If they can't leave anything outside on their back patio, the dog will take off with it. Oh, okay, babe or honey. Well, ain't that sweet? How precious. My husband had a name for me, but I don't think I should say it on a live stream. See, this road is narrow, and there's no stripe, so I couldn't see where the heck I was going. And I've been going up and down this road literally my entire life, and I'm like, I see grass. I think I'm heading towards the ditch. Hey, Raymond. It lives down there. You can't see the house, but that is where it lives. Yep. Okay. Thank you for being here, Raymond. So nice to see you. I'm having dog problems, Raymond. You think I'd got rid of one dog, we got another, and that's what my neighbor said too. We got rid of one, I only have another. Yeah, that was just that woman put up that fence that shocks them. It has not. It stays there. I saw it the other day sitting next to her car. Oh, look! See, it's following me back. Yeah, I'm just going to show them my little video of I made the got back from the vet with Moo, and say, you know what? If something happens to one of my cats, y'all are going to have a really big vet bill. And I said, and I'm going to tell them I got 2 phones. I will record it and have the proof. Still barking. I feel guilty now because I thought, hey, if I said something to the woman earlier about Moo, the Moo would have been alive. And probably Minnie Moo. Probably the same thing happened to Minnie Moo too. So if I just went over there and said, hey, your dog is harassing my cats and chasing my cats, treeing my cats. Oh my God. Oh, he's not going to like that, Steve. Nope. No. Would y'all like some more food? Here we go. Here we go. There. There's plenty of food. It's just, there's nobody around. It's over there barking. I hear it over there at its own home. Yipping. Jeez. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to. But you know, I did want to be that person, and it cost Moo and probably Minnie Moo their life. I don't know what happened to Minnie Moo. But Minnie Moo was here every day. Now, I've heard some good things and bad things about the pet health insurance. I've heard that they can look for any excuse not to pay it. But so, you know, I didn't want to be one of those, if I get in trouble, bitchy neighbors who's like, you keep your dog out of my yard. I wanted to try to get along, even though me and the woman have only ever spoke once, and it was briefly at a distance. But if I'd been over there and raised some heck about keep your dog out of my yard or I'm going to sue you, you know. But there was no proof that the dog was doing anything. But when I took Moo's body over there, And I held it up and I said, "Look at what your dog did." And I was crying hysterically, not little wispy tears. I was pissed off. So it was an angry cry, an angry, like hysterical, angry crying. And I showed her Moo's body. I had him wrapped in a blanket, and I unwrapped him, and I said, look at this. And you can't say I'm not assuming your dog did it. I witnessed it. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." So I just think if I'd been that person and not worry about whether or not these people like me, because I don't even know these people's over there's name. I don't know their name. I've never seen them. They could come dancing naked down the road. Literally, I wouldn't know who they are, and I mean that literally. They could be dancing naked in the middle of the road. I wouldn't know them. I've never seen them. I don't know anything about them except they have a baby, because I can hear the baby. And so, yeah, I don't like having that video of Moo on my phone. It's disturbing when I'm searching through videos. But I'm just gonna say, hey, I I won't tolerate it. I'm not. It's not like I'm ever gonna hang out with the people. It's not like we're gonna be friends. You know, it's not like we're gonna. Um, so why do I? They probably think I'm a piece of trash anyway because I have an old crappy car and I live in a crappy house. So they probably look down on me anyway because they have brand new trucks and a really cute house, and I live in a crappy, crappy house and a crappy, crappy car. But I got 10 acres of land, so I got some nice pine trees. That's what, yeah, exactly, Maya. That's what I say. They're not never going to be my friend anyway. I'm tired. I finally thought we have some peace. It's harassing the neighbors too, and anything they leave outside, it's stealing. They're talking about how much stuff that the dog has just picked up and ran off with. There's little Kai Kai. No, we're not going to have a sunset tonight because it's been very cloudy today, which is fine. Which is fine. Steve, how old is Jerry? I don't know if I've ever heard that. Is he, he said he's young-ish. Do you know? Sorry about the buffering. It's just going to do that. I have no Wi-Fi. I'm doing this off my cell phone signal. Oh, he's 6. Okay. Okay. Let's get it on the light so we can see Noah hydrating. There we go. There's little Noah. Here's baby Mahema and Kaizera. They didn't finish all their food, but that's okay. Oh, lots of notifications. Now, I'm not anti-dog. I love dogs. I've had dogs most of my life. I'm anti-dogs harassing, attacking, and killing my cats. My cats have a right to live peacefully and on their own property. They have that right to live peacefully. That's, There's Ethies. I don't know, Joseph. And he could just take it and leave it in the woods because the other neighbors, they live kind of down there. And these other people live here, and there's this patch of woods between them. So it could be taking Like they talk about it stole shoes and paintbrushes. The man across the road remodels houses, so he paints. He does a lot of painting. Says they have a shed they keep stuff. So it could be out there in the woods. It might not even be taking the stuff home. Hey, it's Adam. Hi, Adam. Yes, that's right, spine ticks. I mean, it's, on their own property. Yeah, their home. They have the right to not be afraid, to not have to run and hide, to enjoy their dinner. And I used to leave my yard shoes outside. I don't anymore. I take everything inside. I put it in the car, or like, because I have slippers I wear inside, slippers I wear outside, and so on and so forth. And no, I'm not. No, there's somebody here, but I can't pronounce any of that. BBYFT. Well, thank you for being here, whoever you are. Yeah, I don't know, and I think they've been outside and heard me yelling at the dog. They don't care. They're young. I know that they're young. When they moved in, the neighbor I had before them, that lived over here before these people, said, "Oh, we've got some new neighbors," and she said, "All I know about them is they're a young couple." And just because I hear the baby sounds, a little. Catitude. That's one thing. There's not much issues with around here of people doing much at night, except for like if they think something is abandoned and they don't ever see anybody there. A student barking like a dog and making bird noises. Well, isn't that interesting? I'm sure they were just trying to get a reaction. I think I'm starting to hear the frogs way, way back there. Let me tell y'all something about what's going on here. Lockett, yeah, Lockett was here. Uh, he's already ate and left. They were all here and accounted for this evening. And yep, they were all. Hey there, Mahama. I'm wearing a good sitting in my lap now. Hey, Ruth. Hey, Ruth. Thank you for being here this evening. Mahama, I haven't had a chance to get undressed. I'm still wearing dress pants. Mommy just got back from town, Mahama. Okay. I don't care. Let's get them all good and hairy. We don't care. We need some Mahama lovings. That's okay. It's just some cat hair. Hey, Kai. Kai spent every time I went outside today, I saw Kaizera balancing, sitting on the side of that garbage can that I keep. It's my water catchment container. She gets in the weirdest places to perch. Just, I mean, it's like, why would you perch on the side? And one time she must have fell in because she wanted to come open the door. She wanted to run inside, and she was soaking wet and it had not been raining. So she must have fell into the rain barrel. God. I got stuff all over me. Yeah, she's a sweet kitty, Maya. I didn't even have to tame her. She was just born tame, friendly, and loving. Some cats, you got to get them used to you. You have to try to catch them, socialize them. No, Kaiser just came right up to me like, hello, person. Here I am. I'm cute. Pet me. And a weird thing with our weather here, y'all. Here's a Jackson Parish, Louisiana weather report. We are under a burn ban like we do in the summertime. This is the weirdest January. It's been warm and dry. Normally it's rainy and cold. It was like in the 70s, mid 70s today. And people were wearing, I went to Walmart, people were wearing tank tops and shorts. And it's so dry, they said, you're going to get a fine if we catch you burning. And it's the whole, like just about every parish in our area has declared a burn ban. That's what they do in July and August when it gets really hot and dry. Normally this watering hole is overflowing without me even having to fill it up. I mean, I don't remember ever having a burn ban in January. Ever. I mean, this is just. So my water barrel that I collect rain is starting to get low. I use it to water my plants. I save the rainwater. And I like to water my plants with the rainwater, but my like last night I was zoning. We do what we call zoning. Do y'all know what zoning means? It's where you take everything and bring it to the front, make it look pretty because people in the store leave crap everywhere and make a mess. And I was there. I was rearranging the chips, and I got a text from Bruce. It was like 4:40 in the morning, and I got this text. He's saying, I hope you're having a good night, evening or something like that, or a good time at work or something like that. So when I saw nobody looking, I texted him back and said, I'm arranging chips. Boy, it really made me want a chip. Hey, it's Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. Thank you for being here. So nice to see you. Well, it would have been like 5 something for him because he's an hour ahead of me. But I was like, you wouldn't believe like just random stuff. Like somebody picks it up, they think they're going to buy it, or they change their mind or whatever. Just random stuff is left on shelves everywhere. There's Lockett. There, Maya, there's Lockett. You were asking about him. There's Lockett. There he is. There's little Lockett. Hey, Lockett. Hope you're having a great day, Cheryl. Yes, they do, Maya. And then by the time somebody finds it, it's too late. Does that work? Does anybody find them spine ticks like after they're hidden? Are they actually still there when they come back for them? And it could be something that the store knows people are doing. Okay. Yeah, like in the candy aisle last night, we found a Minecraft toy, Minecraft is a video game, right? And it's like these little plastic things. It was a big long box with all these little plastic things that they're related to Minecraft, I think, or some sort of game. Anyway, they it was like shoved back in there on top of the candy, and probably the kids said, "Mama, Mama, I want this," and they're like, "No," and they just sort of put it. And I found clothes in unusual places, toilet paper in unusual places, just stuff that they shouldn't be, you know, there. Well, wouldn't the ultrasound device cost as much as the card? Oh no, I don't like thunderstorms, Cheryl. Um, but I don't like snow either. So I hear a lot of moving around over there. The cats are doing something over there. Hey, Locket. My Cheryl is in Chicago, the big, big city of Chicago. Maya, what part of Ohio are you in? I probably have heard, but I haven't had sleep in a few days, so I'm a zombie. But when they leave stuff all over the store like that the employees are going to have to go back and, you know. Oh, northeast, 20 minutes from Pennsylvania. Okay. Hey, it's Bruce. Hey, Bruce. Thank you for your text, Bruce. I was rearranging the what they call zoning, the chip aisle, Bruce. And boy, handling out. Yes, we were just saying, where is Bruce? Yeah, we have to take everything, like every can on every shelf or every bag or every box of anything, and make it face forward and bring it all to the front. That's what they call zoning. You have to bring everything to the forefront and line it up and make it look pretty for the customers. Look, we got some snuggles going on. Little baby Mahama snuggling. Yeah. Ethereal wants to snuggle, and he's looking at Mahama. He's like, hey, that's my spot. Why is that cat in my spot? It's okay, Ethies. It's okay, Ethies. There could be room for two babies. Yep, Catatoo, that is what they call it, Sony. Oh, he's looking at Mahama, Maya. He wants to snuggle. Yeah, and it's you got to think about even like the spice racks. All the different spices and seasonings. You have to go through there and arrange every bit of that, and spin it all around where the label's facing forward. I never knew there were so many spices. But we're only in the store with the customers for 2 hours. I start at 10, and or 3 hours, and they close at 11. But there's almost nobody in there, and then they open at 6, and I leave at 7. But the only people I see in there at 6 in the morning shopping are very, very old people. I could say something, but I won't. And there's like stuff what they call overflow that's on the top shelf, and I have to have like this big cart with a ladder I have to push around. Hey, it's Glare Bear. Hey, Glare Bear. Thank you for being here, and look at all the beautiful flower emojis. Oh. Oh goodness. Oh, Bruce. I'm a zombie. I'm not fit to be around anybody right now. I'm just running on very little sleep. I am getting home from work about the time I would be getting. uh, but we're going to start doing the remodel part soon. Whereas we're going to shelves. Oh, Rosemary's got some beautiful flower emojis too. Yeah, they're going to take and put something underneath like if you see the shelving units, like the metal shelving in Walmart, they're going to put something under it, jack it up with all the products on it. This is what they told me last night. Put something under it, jack it up, have two people at the end who are going to push it, and it all has to roll far, far away. Well, when they redoing the floors, it's like, oh my God. I'm like, how's it going to be possible? We're going to be moving entire shelving units with all these shelves there. Well, most of the time when I'm there, Bruce, we're locked in. They lock us in except for our breaks. So the doors are locked. So we're safe in there. And but when we get our breaks, up area. Or a lot of people go to their car or something like that. We do have a lounge. There's and they'll take up the whole damn couch. I'm like, seriously? That couch is big enough for me. Someone else might have enjoyed sitting chairs and microwaves and refrigerators and coffee machines. And Maya's put down some pretty hearts, paw prints, and some greenery. And there's a TV, and sometimes the TV's on, sometimes it's not. But mostly for my break, I go to the car and just look at my phone. I have OCD in a different way of not about the checking things. My OCD runs more or long about, did I lock the door? Have I locked the door? Is the door locked? And I'll go get in the car to leave, and I'm like, no, I got to go check the door again. I don't think I locked the door. And I have to go back and pull on the doorknob and everything. And when I'm at work, or if I'm gone for a long time, I actually take a giant, extra thick, oversized cinder block and put it in front of the door just in case the lock fails so the cats won't get out. I'm OCD about like cats and things like that. Um, like, what if I've done something wrong? Up my chat froze, so if I've been being rude, I'm sorry. And John's here. Hey, John. I wasn't being rude, John. My chat has frozen. I had to look at my other phone. I'm like, it's just not fracking moving. And I looked at see, that's why I have two phones, y'all. There's a reason for having two phones. It's John. Thank you for being here, John. Yeah, John, I'm using muscles I haven't used in a while. Yeah, no, I get so obsessive about. Back when I had a full stove, I'm like, well, I gotta make sure my stove's off. We don't have a stove here. We just have like a little skillet and a microwave and a little oven, which I don't ever use. And I just, if it has to do with my cats or money, cats and money, the things that mean the most to me, I become so obsessive about. Like, are they okay? Have I done something wrong? And that's why I just feel so bad about what happened to Moo. I said, I could have stopped that. I could have stopped that. I could have done something. And yeah, the last comment on the phone that I'm live streaming on, which I read off of, was when Maya put down the hearts, the paw prints, and the greenery. That's the last chat. But thank you for being here, Chelsea. Always nice to see you. But no, I just over and worry about and over and over and over. And I tell y'all what, when I get my first paycheck, I will cry. I will sit down and cry like a baby. To not sit there and have to have some money finally. You know. But they make you earn that money, though. They make you earn it. Um, but no, I worry about like things. Did I turn this off? Did I turn that off? Should I have done that? Oh, I like check to make sure I put things back where they should. Like right now, I'm sitting there wondering about my put my driver's license. Oh, we got a cat. That's Kai Kai. Kai's back. Hey, Kai Kai. You feel like having another snacky, Kai? Kai's such a good girl. Yes, she is. Kai's a good girl. I do. I like Brussels sprouts. I've heard so many people say horrible things about Brussels sprouts, but I like them. Hey, Kai Kai. Oh, there's one over there. That's baby Mahima, I think. No, that's Mahima, I think. It's hard to tell when it's this dark. I gotta get the other phone. I can't. I keep looking at this phone, and I have to have this other one. Cheryl says they look like alien. To me, they look like little baby cabbages, which I think they're all related. Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, all those things. They're very closely related and all very nutritious. I hope to begin to start eating nutritious food again. Um, I hope to get back to eating all my fresh vegetables and salads again. And the thing I miss the most is skincare. I have not been able to do skincare. I've always been really proud of taking care of my skin, and I have not been able to afford that. And I cannot wait to go out and buy some moisturizer, y'all. No, y'all might see an emotional post from me when I actually get some money. I'm going to be crying on here. I'm like, oh my God, I've got money. It won't be much. It won't be much. But I'm going, you know, there's the neighbors. There they are coming in. There they are. There's the doggy people. Or their friends. They have people coming in there all night and day. All night, all day. In, out, in, out. I'm just glad I have two phones, or I would have had it in the chat because it's completely frozen. Seriously. You know, fried Brussels sprouts might be good, y'all. Oh, good question, Maya. Maya has an excellent question. Okay, obviously this is the driveway. I drive through here. The car catches this end right here. Anyway, well, it was just a small watering hole, or a small hole, just a little hole, like a hole develops in the dirt. It was like a natural lower depression, and it was holding water. And because in the winter it rains all the time, not this winter because we're under a burn ban. Well, the hole would be muddy as we would go through it. It would get bigger and bigger and bigger, and just over the years, it just grew and grew. And Maya, let me tell you, I came out here one day and saw all in the summer all these birds. It was kind of warm and it rained, and the birds all around this, birds that don't even come to my feeders, who were enjoying this watering hole, and they were in it flopping around like in a bird bath, but it was more natural for them. And well, hey, Adam, bye, Adam. Thank you for being here. And I wish I had some ice cream myself, Adam. When I get some money, I'm going to get me a treat, y'all. But anyway, when it had the water in it, excuse me, the birds loved it. So we would go into a drought during the summer, and like with the watering hole, I mean, they would just be all the way around it. I mean, it was just, this is before I had the outside cats. And they would get in it and bathe. They like it more than a bird bath because it's natural. And I just had that one person, spine ticks, and they posted something about they on their community post about, oh well, I'm making changes in my life, and I don't have to explain my changes to anyone. I'm like, is she referring to me? Whatever, I don't care. Hey, Nancy, thank you for being here, Nancy. So nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Spine ticks, I've had people my whole life I thought were my friends, and they weren't, and then that's fine. I move on. Uh, I just wish somebody'd say, hey, I think you're a bitch, or you said this and I didn't agree with it, or you're friends with this other person, I don't agree with it, and I'm moving on. I would said, okay, fine, let's agree to disagree, but no. So when I saw how much the birds, and then I would see paw prints of like raccoons. I've even seen deer tracks out here, and the cats started loving it. So I just keep it filled, but it does get bigger over time. It has progressed. So yeah, that's the story of the watering hole. The all the wildlife loves it, especially the birds, especially in the summer. So yeah, yeah, and you know what? Steve, Sith, spine ticks. I can understand someone having a issue with me because I can be ditchy. Let's take the D, put the B there. I can be opinionated. I can be mouthy. So that's the whole point. It's like, yeah, if she hadn't have just done it to me, I understand it because I am opinionated, and I do mouth off occasionally when I'm in a mood. But to do it to Judy and to John, apparently, to block all three of us, and who else she might have blocked that we don't know of. Judy's never been anything but nice to everybody. I mean, seriously. Most of you here know Judy, or at least if you've read other people's comments, you've seen Judy on there. She's always kind. There, you know. Yeah, that's true, spine ticks. I've noticed there's a lot of people who aren't on your live stream anymore that I start off with. Yeah. I think it must have been a guilt about. But anyway, that's the whole thing is like, yeah, I can understand somebody having issues with me because I am opinionated, and sometimes I say things that people might not like, and sometimes I like people that people might not like. Um, huh. that, that's you just don't know what people are going to do. Spine chicks. Um, no, I don't. You don't know why. Judy, we were literally just talking about you and how sweet you are, and why someone like you would, I can understand why somebody like me would get blocked by people we knew and people we thought was our friends. But that why would that happen to Judy? Because she's so sweet, and we all said that you were a wonderful person, Judy. But I can understand it because I can be mouthy and opinionated and loud, and I can be obnoxious, and I can voice unpopular opinions. But not Judy. Anyway, so we're just talking about how people can unfriend you, dump you, block you for absolutely no reason, and you're sitting there thinking, I don't know what the heck's just happened. Exactly, Cheryl. And this person was a good friend of mine, Cheryl. This person sent me money, and I don't mean a few dollars, on a couple occasions. A lovely, thoughtful card, Cheryl. We had long conversations on the phone. I had her phone number, she had mine. We called each other. She went to Oregon and she knew I was obsessed with Oregon. She sent me things from Oregon. A coffee mug I drink out of. Um, some jelly or jam or something made from Oregon berries. Just and we had long conversations. And she's a nurse, and she talked to me about what my mother was going through and how my mother didn't have much longer. And I'm like, yes, I understand. Just very kind to me. And then suddenly to say, I don't get it. Um, yeah, it is, Judy. It is. Um, she took the time out of her day to buy souvenirs, put them in a box, and mail them to me. She sent me a few $100s, beautiful cards. They came in beautiful cards. We talked a lot on the phone, and she was never anything but kind. And oh yes, that's right, Judy. Um, um, that cat was so gorgeous, John. Oh, I love those pictures. If I wasn't a zombie, I'd go comment. Yeah, Cheryl, I don't understand. If you like someone enough to say, I know you're having a hard time, I'm going to send you some money, and you can do with it whatever you feel like you need to do. More than once. Because, yeah, I was. Well, I'm still having a hard time till I get that first paycheck. And y'all going to hear about it because this old girl's going to be crying. But, um, that just sit there and say she was one of the very first people to ever say, you're having a hard time, let me help you, okay, but just don't tell anybody I helped you. And yeah, Judy, we all call Concelia Connie. Yeah, she's Connie, and she's very sweet, Judy. She's a good friend of mine. And she's somebody else. I have their phone number. We have nice long talks, and many of you on here, I have your phone number. Connie, John, Maya, Judy. Um, Kitty's not on here, but so many people, and they're talking about. And Rosemary, I have Rosemary's number. Me and Rosemary had some nice long talks. There's Kai. But somebody was talking about, they were defending, there was these two people on TikTok who got into a feud. And somebody says, you can't talk about that person. They're nice. They're my friend. And they said, you know what? You cannot say they're your friend if you can't call them and say, hey, girl. And you know what? Anybody who's here who does not have my number, I'd give it to you. And y'all can call me. Now, I might be asleep because my hours are so... Adam, I've talked to Adam on the phone. And Bruce. Yes, thank you, Bruce. I have a whole list. Lewis. I have a whole list of viewers who have my number, who send me text. New Niffy called me on my birthday and Christmas. I have that, you know. Yes, Rosemary, I do. I have met some wonderful people here on YouTube, and wonderful people. Yeah, I do. I feel so great about it that, you know, Maya texted me while I was working, and Bruce, and so much buffering. And, you know, I just, you know, have met so many great people. And you know what? You think you know somebody and then you don't. And you're just like, well, I would like to know what I did wrong. Because if you tell me what I've done wrong, I can correct that mistake. Does that make sense? If you tell me, like, I didn't like that remark. I don't like it that you listen to this kind of music. I don't like it that you don't go to church. Or I don't like it that your favorite color is black. Or now, random people on my channel, like random people, I say fine. You know, I have enough subscribers. But if it's somebody you think that is a friend, and yeah, that's what it is, Cheryl. You don't know what you've done. That's the whole thing. And, I mean, you know, Rosemary, a lot of times with that, when you have a someone you know and have contact with, and one time they're nice and one time they're not, I think they're probably having emotional issues or some sort of trauma, you know? And I just think that they have things going on that maybe we don't know about. And you know what? When I think when someone's not being nice, that's when they're going through their most difficult time. Yeah, spine ticks might. When the guy pulled down his pants, could he have gotten a little bit intoxicated, maybe? Or something like that? Like maybe he'd had a little bit to drink, and it's like, hey, here's my backside. Yeah, Rosemary, if they're having personal problems, it can, it yeah. Oh, John, I need to hear this. What did you do wrong, John? Anyway. Oh, it was kind of like, I'm going to blow you up before I leave. Let me tell y'all a story. Who wants to hear a tranquil story? If you want to hear a tranquil story from the past, say yes. Yes, I'd like to hear a tranquil story about people who are going to do something. They're going to blow you up before they dump you. Who wants to hear it? Okay. Anyway, I worked in a restaurant. My first job was working in a seafood restaurant. And there's this woman, her husband, how do I say this without getting in trouble with YouTube? Her son-in-law, her 19-year-old son-in-law, ended the life of their husband with the with a gun, a pew pew. It took away her husband forever, the great big giant dirt nap, the forever dirt nap. Anyway, I know you got to be careful about what you say. And so anyway, she had small children, and her daughter who had a baby with the older, was still young, but had a baby. The daughter was like 16, but had a baby. Of course, the son-in-law went to the bye-bye time in jail because, Anyway, she worked for us, and she knew she was going to be getting all this Social Security. Like, you get so much Social Security for each child. So she had 3 under 18 kids and the baby. She was going to make way more on Social Security from her husband going bye-bye than she could working for us. So my daddy scolded her about doing something, and she said, I'll get y'all back. So, we have you have sugar, and you have salt, and you have pepper shakers on the tables. She switched everything out because, and sugar looks the same. And she put salt in the sugar and sugar in the salt. And all the customers, she did it to every table, and every customer's like, I was trying to sweeten my tea, but it was just salt. And they were like saying, well, I was trying to put some salt on my food, but it's sugar. She did it she went around to every table because she knew she was quitting because she had going to get so much in Social Security. And she did it, and all the customers were bitching, whining, moaning, complaining. And she never came back. She just disappeared because the government was going to take care of her because she had 4 underage children in her house. And it was a whole big story about she called in for work on a Saturday saying, I can't come to work. I can't come to work. My husband's missing. Well, normally when people call in, they can't come in because they have diarrhea or stomach flu, or I got a bug, or their grandmother passed away. And, you always hear those stories. Like, because my father owned businesses, I have owned businesses. You hear every excuse in the world. I can't come in, which means you're going to party, basically. But she said, I can't come in. My husband's missing. And I'm like, well, hell, that is a new excuse. I've never heard that one before. So, the next Sunday I was off and I saw my father coming towards my house. And I'm like, well, why is he coming over? He says, oh, we're going to Wanda's. Her name was Wanda's. She wasn't lying. Her husband is actually, they don't know where her husband is. That was the truth. And so finally, they found some blood in the truck, and the son-in-law and the husband had been off together, so they started questioning the son-in-law. He's like 18, 19, something like that, and he said, yeah, we were drunk, we got into a fight, and I had, well, he did the pew pew thing anyway. And but once she started that Social Security for each of those kids kicked in, she didn't need to be a server no more. Um, yeah, but yeah, that was a whole big thing that out there in the wood spine ticks, because where I used to live was way more rural than this. Where I live now is a metropolis compared to where I used to live. And yeah, that was a big time story that the son-in-law takes the life of his father-in-law. That was a big to do, and then he hid the body for days, and they're like, "Where is he? What did you do with him?" And they had to go search for him, and finally they said, well, "We're going to find him eventually," and it took a couple of days, and eventually he fessed up. Yeah, I did this, and I'll show y'all. He's in a creek. He put him in a creek or something like that. Oh, no, this happened. I'm leaving out the gory details. There was a double barrel pew pew involved with this spine, a double barrel, and no, no, no. Just the guy, and he did go to prison, and he tried to escape prison because he was a young guy. He tried to climb the fence, and they shot him in the backside as he was trying to climb over the guards. Pelleted his backside as he was climbing the fence. He didn't care about that razor wire. He was going over that fence, and they're like, nope, you're not going anywhere, boy. But no, this woman, her name was Wanda, and she was a very tiny woman, real little, like very tiny, and she had hit the jackpot. It was Judy is hit the nail on the head. Wanda hated her husband. She always complained about her husband, Judy. She says he's abusive. He beats me. I don't like him. I wish he'd just go away. I wish I had the money to get a divorce. I wish I could make enough money without him. And then when he passed away at the funeral, you could hear her in the background. Okay, it's time for sound effects, everyone. Like, like I cry when something happens to my cat. I'm like, she hated this man. She would come to work every day and talk about how much she hated her husband. He was a horrible man. He was abusive. She wished she had the money. It was, they found something. Yeah, Rosemary. He was in a creek. It wasn't great, but they found something, and we all went to the funeral. Everybody worked with her, and she cried like a baby, and you know. Yeah, she just really put on a show, and we were all looking at each other because we all worked with her. It was like five of us who went to the funeral, and we were all looking at each other like, why is she carrying on like that? She hated this man. And anyway, but she was so much better off after her husband went bye bye. And so yeah, after that, it's like everybody was really suspicious. Like, well, could there be more to the story? Oh, and by the way, so anyway, here's the more to the story, everyone. The son-in-law didn't get so, if Lady Sith is listening, didn't get that much time because he claimed self-defense. He's like, well, he was drunk and he came after me, and I had no choice. I had to fend him off the best way. He said, we were both very sloppy drunk, and I had to fend him off the best way I could. But he still got jail time, but just not as much as he would if he didn't claim self-defense. But like, how can you prove it was self-defense? Oh, they were out in the middle of the woods, Judy. They were in the woods. Why they were out in the woods, out in the middle of nowhere, like deep woods, we don't know. It was all seemed very suspicious. Well, oh, there's that truck with the lighted wheels. I saw it at Walmart the other night. Oh my God, I got to get lighted wheels for my car. I got a lot of stories. But this happened, this was way back a long time ago. Y'all remember Cabbage Patch Dolls? Have y'all ever heard of Cabbage Patch Dolls? They were a big thing back in the late 80s. And, yeah. So anyway, she had gotten so much money from Social Security, she went out and bought her kids a buttload of the Cabbage Patch Dolls. She was going through money like a drunken sailor. Like, I'm going to get this money for all these years till these kids turn 18. Well, eventually kids turn 18. You know what I mean? And the money's going to cut off. I'm sorry. It just will. Kids grow up, y'all. And but she was, have y'all ever heard the term high cotton? She's rolling in high cotton. That might be a Southern term. Have you ever heard the term, they're up in high cotton, they're rolling in high cotton, they're in high cotton? John, you don't have no Cabbage Patch Dolls. But that's a Southern term. Y'all might not ever heard of it. They're in high cotton. They're rolling in high cotton or something like that. Anyway, she was like, I'm in high cotton now. She was bragging like she was a millionaire. I'm getting this much for that kid. I'm getting this much for this kid. I'm like, okay. A book called High Cotton. So anyway, yeah. So Wanda didn't work for us much longer, which is fine because she was kind of slow. And I respected speed. Well, hey, it's a Cory. Yeah, I didn't get the appeal of a Cabbage Patch Dolls either, Akari. I didn't understand them, which is fine because I don't understand most things most people do. And I do really mean that literally. I don't understand most things that most people do. Oh, my ham is snacking again. Yes, people were saying that Furby would listen and report things. There's always some sort of toy that people would get overly excited about. There's Noah. Hey, Noah. I had a doll that would urinate. How many of you girls, women here, when y'all were young, had a urination doll? Can we say pee? That you'd give it a bottle and it would run through the doll and it had a diaper and we had to change it. Yeah, Betsy Wetsy or something like that. It had a little diaper and a little pink top, and you'd give it this little baba. And well, Spine Ticks doesn't change diapers, so it would not be a good toy for me. But you had to like try to. I would do this race of like how quickly can I get the water or whatever through the bottle and before it would start urinating. A shopping Cheryl doll. I don't know what that is, Cheryl. Please elaborate. Maya, did you have Barbies? Did you have any Barbies, Maya? I had a buttload of Barbies. I had a very impressive Barbie collection, and I had every Barbie accessory. I had the Barbie camper with the fold-out extra room, and ever since then I've been obsessed with RVs. When I'm distressed, I watch RV videos. I've wanted an RV since I was a little girl, seriously. And oh, Cheryl, that sounds like fun. I love grocery shopping. A Cher doll. I loved Cher when I was a little girl. Let me tell y'all, I was raised by a very country person, and I could only watch the Sonny and Cher show when my daddy was not at home, because I can't say what Daddy would say about Sonny and Cher, but he would say like, GD dope heads with their long hair and so on and so forth. I won't have that garbage in my house. Look at all that hair. They're on drugs. They're all on. I'm cleaning it up for YouTube. And but when Daddy wasn't home, I would watch me some Sonny and Cher, and I loved her clothes. I've always been obsessed by clothes. So we got. Speaking of clothes, I'm still wearing my dress pants, y'all, because I went to town. But yeah, I had a very impressive collection of Barbies. I had the 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 4-story, the elevator, the Corvette, a ton of Barbie clothes. Just clothes. Cause my mother bought me tons of Barbie clothes because I was obsessed with clothes, and Barbie changed clothes all day. I had every Barbie they came out with but one Ken, and Ken was having an affair with all the Barbies. He was married to one Barbie, but he was having a physical relationship with all of the Barbies. He was a naughty Ken. Oh, I wonder what it was about Dark Shadows, Rosemary. Well, my daddy forbade just about anything that had young people who had long hair or rock music. My daddy could not stand rock music. He couldn't stand guys who didn't have the short 50s haircut. Um, Anything that was new or modern, he loved hee haw. Who here knows what hee haw is? Say, yes, I know about hee haw. Have you ever heard of hee haw? Hey, Spine Chicks, I own leather pants. True story. This old girl has leather pants. No, he loved hee haw because it was country, and the Waltons. The Waltons. He just loved that. The Dukes of Hazzard. Anything that was Southern. Um, if it, or westerns. He liked Gunsmoke, but no, if it was new or modern, it had any kind of modern music with guys who had any kind of hair, he would just fly into a rage. Literally fly into a rage. Literally. Because, the world was changing. In the 70s, the world was changing rapidly, and he was not happy about that. You know. Maya, can you imagine how much stuff he has? He might run into things he doesn't know he has. That's how I am when I go into my shed and I start rummaging around. I will find things. Well, I didn't know I had that. I thought that was gone. So anyway, you're fine, Catitude. You're fine, Catitude. Why are you not fitting in? We love you, Catitude. Just tell us what you want us to talk about, and we will, Catitude. Catitude, name a subject. I want everyone to feel welcome. No, Maya, that's true. But my father was not old. He was just very from another time. At that time, he wasn't old. It was the world was changing back then, and society, women's roles, people of color's roles, and yes, we all love broccoli, carrots, and avocado. Yes. But women's role in society was changing. The people of color roles in society were changing. Morals were changing. You know how uptight people used to be. And so he just thought things should have been the way they have always been. He hated women's rights. Women's place was cooking for their man, cleaning for their man, you know. He didn't like a free, independent woman. Oh, I do. I love mushrooms too. Oh, fun fact. You know how you go in Walmart and they have the Walmart radio playing? Even after the store is closed, it plays all night long. It goes 24 hours a day. We're getting to listen to Walmart radio, whether we like it or not, all night long. Yes, the music playing in Walmart goes even when the store is not open. It does not turn off when they lock the doors. It just keeps going and going. Which is fine. It gives me something to listen to. Most of it's tolerable, some of it isn't. Because I'm just so focused on my task. Um, you know. No, well, I just get so focused on what I'm doing it and doing it to the best of my ability. Because if you don't, you're not working out. You have to go. And of the new people they have hired to do the remodel, one has already been caught stealing after just a couple of days. Literally after a couple of days. One has already been terminated for theft. One has already decided I'm not coming back and have just disappeared. Well, thank you for being here, Cheryl. You go take care of that baby Twinkie. And you have a great evening, Cheryl. And some of them have just said this is not for me, and they're not even showing up. So out of all of those they have hired to protect, it's buffering. Yes, Bahama loves to snuggle, y'all. Look at that baby. Yeah. So, and I asked him, "How am I doing? Am I doing okay?" I'm not going to wait for him to tell me I'm doing something wrong. And if I finish my task, I go find the manager. I'm like, "Hey, what else do I need to do? I got to keep it going here. Just point me in the way I need to go." And um, it's all about go, go, go. They want to get every penny they can out of your work. Go, go, go. And yep. So, I was like, am I doing okay? I've asked all of them, like, am I doing okay? And I'm like, y'all do know I'm the next to the oldest person in the building. I'm literally next to the oldest person in the building. And they didn't realize how old I was. And they're like, oh, he's older than you. And he's older than you. And I'm like, well, how old's he? And how old's he? And I'm like, oh, no, I'm older than that. So they were shocked by how old I am. I'm like, nope, I'm an older person. I'm older, which is fine. But I'm keeping up with the young ones. So somebody's going by really slow. Really slow. Hmm. Here's little Mahama getting his noogies. Nope. Yep. I'm working just as hard as the young people, Connie. I am not. That's right, Judy. I have plus mowing. All the mowing I have to do around here with a push mower, and all the just gardening. And I have always stayed physically active. And you know what? I'm glad I have. I'm not saying my legs aren't sore, but you know, because I'm using a new set of muscles climbing up and down the ladder. But that's okay. I needed to work out those muscles. That just meant I'm doing something good. That's right, Rosemary. And they're all talking about their kids. Yeah, I am. I'm doing. I'm really pushing myself because I want to prove myself, because it is a not a permanent job, and I have to prove that I am worthy and that they might keep me on, because it's a temporary job, and when the remodel's done, I'm supposed to go bye bye. Um, oh, we got a kitty over here drinking. Here we go. Yes, Rosemary looks probably at least 20 years younger than she actually is, and has gorgeous hair. Y'all go to Rosemary's page. Rosemary has some gorgeous hair. Yeah, that's my goal, Connie, is to make them say, hey, she's a good worker. We will extend an offer to her. Yes. And no, Rosemary, you're beautiful, Rosemary. Yeah, but I've always been very physically active, so I'm thankful for that. Whoa, Akari, you're done for work. That is so good. It's time to rest, Akari. It's always nice when you finish all your tasks and you can just sit back and relax. No, Rosemary, we wouldn't say it if we didn't really believe it. Well, anyway, we've had my story time about the my coworker's husband having an unfortunate end. We've had food discussions, we've had work discussions, we've had a little bit of musical discussions. We've had a lot of nice discussions today. And so, anyway, I do like to have these nice and no, I didn't know that, Rosemary. That is great news. I know you were worried about it. Oh, Rosemary, great news. And I know that you were really focused on that, thinking about that. Yeah, it's nice that good things can happen. Okay, I'm shifting. I got to go get out of my good clothes. But anyway, um, no, it's just, we're just looking at a watering hole and the occasional cat, but it's all about, we get to talk with each other. And it's just more about hanging out necessarily than what we're doing. I told some young guy last night at Walmart that I do live streaming. He was like maybe 20 at the oldest. Yeah, I do live streaming and I have a YouTube channel with 8,000, almost 800 subscribers. And I do TikTok and I have 2 Instagrams and da da da. And he just looked at me like smiling, like shaking his head like he could. I'm sorry for acting this way. He could not believe that this old lady does live streaming because y'all all know social media is only for the young people, not us old ladies. I mean, he was really shocked that I do live streaming and have a social media presence. Anyway, I'm like, yeah. Anyway, I guess they think we should all be making pies and crocheting Afghans for people. Or whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I am ready for dinner and to get out of my dress clothes because I was in such a hurry. I didn't even change clothes after I got home, and I still haven't even unloaded my groceries. But here's my Hema. But thank you all for being here, even though it's dark and there's not much to look at. But thank you, John. So kind of you to say. Yeah, I'm gonna go have some dinner and see the cats and feed the cats, the inside cats, and get out and listen to me ramble on about my stories. So anyway, I'm gonna go now because I'm hungry and I still have groceries to unload. Oh, there's the neighbor with the pesky dog. There they are, pesky dog people. Anyway. Good night, everybody. Thank you all for being here. I truly do appreciate it. I love all of you. I thank you all for your support. And if I ever get around to posting a video again, Please watch it. So anyway, good night. Bye bye.